Welcome back, traders. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. In this video today, I'm going to talk about the importance of having a system, and not just a system that makes you money and keeps you profitable, but also tells you when it is not an A+ setup, okay? When it's best to stay out the market and be hands off, which is exactly what I was able to do today. So let's jump over to TradingView. I'll talk you through the system, what it showed me. I'll show you my one trade that I did do. It was a nail and bail right at the open. I watched the market most of the day, but there was absolutely nothing of interest for me, and I'm going to show you why. So let's get into it right now. So here you go. Here is a TradingView chart, all right? And this is the hourly chart. So I just want to show you what I'm interested in straight away. We are clearly making a series of higher highs, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and a higher low potentially, okay? So I am not really thinking about a short like everyone else is thinking until we are able to start doing a continuation lower, all right? So if we zoom out, we can think about this in terms of liquidity. We have certainly built potential liquidity here, possibly here, and maybe we will build some here. But that trade will become an easier trade once we build the liquidity and start getting heavy and rejecting underneath this level, okay? The other opportunity here is a continuation long. So we need to think about this higher low, which created this higher high. We have the ability to pull back in and then trade higher, all right? That's still very much a possibility here. So this is an hourly chart. So that's just where my head was at the beginning of the day. So going down into a 3 minute, I'm just gonna take this along to the open. And now just flipping to a 1 minute, I'm gonna show you why very quickly. So into here, I was very interested. Now, in case you didn't know, these red lines, these are my daily levels. So these are previous day, lows, closes, opens, and highs. They're all marked out. All right, right here, you can see them. Okay, so these are areas of interest to me. I'm always interested in the previous day's levels and the previous week's levels. So as you can see, we have that liquidity that I talked about, but I must not front run this and think about that short, because we have not taken out this structure here. And this really is our strong low, which created the strong high. So this is where a lot of people are going to get stuck. I think we will need to build liquidity here. We are in a huge range. This is basically the range here, and we will probably build liquidity until it picks a direction, whatever that might be. So going into the open here, right, I was very aware of that, and I was also aware of this potential bull trap, okay? So these levels I have marked out. I'll just delete this red box. This is the pre-market low on the ETF. This is the gap that we left on Sunday. So I was thinking, could we do a gap fill and do a bull trap over this level for a return back in? That was the first trade I was looking at, which would be a potential scalp trade. So let's just go through this at the open. Okay, there is the push into that gap. We have this imbalance here, so I took this short. I will show you it very quickly after I talk you through this trade. And as soon as we flushed back down, I was looking for a cover. Now, where was I looking for a cover? I turned all of these on, okay, and I was interested in this 5-day, the blue line, and my VWAP, all right? Those were the levels where if we held, I was gonna get out, and this is pretty much where I got out, right into VWAP, okay? So we had that extension, it was an opening push, filled the gap. Once that gap was filled, I was expecting us to pull back into some form of demand. And now really, it really depends if we're gonna start doing this or if in fact we're just gonna base. So I had to wait at this point. So let's just show you this trade right now live on Ninja so you can see how I took it. This is the trade. Okay, and now jumping back in. So, okay, so let's go to a 3 minute chart here. This is what I like to view most of my day off. And right now, I'm just gonna let this build liquidity, all right? I'm just gonna wait to see what it wants to do. So right now, we are trading between the pre-market low, okay, the high of day, which is the gap fill, and now we have created our IB high up here and our IB low. So this is the range, all right? This here is our current daily range, and until we are able to trend above this or trend below this, I'm expecting us to trap lots of people and build liquidity. So this really is a no trade zone for me unless I'm thinking about a rotational trade. Now, why was I less interested in a rotational trade today? It's because this range is tiny, all right? 55 at the bottom, 67, might as well call it 65 at the top, 10 points, okay, 12-point range. 12-point range is all you had to play with until we were able to do that move. That is not something I am personally interested in. It means if you are wrong, your midway point is 5 points, your 5-day is 5 points, your view up is 5 points. Everything here is going to be very congested, so you have to be very cautious, and I will show you how it played out and why I was very much not interested in this, because my system told me not to be. So we fail here to expand underneath the IB low. We hold this pre-market low, the golden box. Can we push down? No. We trade back to view up. Now we're basing on view up. Now we're going to probably attack the IB high. So we come up, we expand above the IB high, instantly reject back below the IB high. Now we're probably going to expand back to view up. One more push above IB high. Here you go. Trading back into the 5-day. Notice the 5-day supporting the action, but the 5-day is now trading down towards view up. Not something you want to see in bullish price action. To view up, big flush moment while Biden was talking, right back to the IB low, okay? And if we cannot expand below this IB low now, where will we go? Back to the 5-day, back to view up, back to my flow zones. If we base here, back to the IB high. There's the IB high, back towards view up, and we will probably close the day out here. Yeah, here you go, past the close. So ask yourself, is this action really worth your mental capital? Okay, for me, the answer is absolutely not. While there are some trades in here, I would not call these A+ setups, right? So you do have a trend here. You could argue there was some liquidity built for this breakdown, but you are taking a rotational trade here. You get lucky when Biden talks here, because until that point, there was nothing to say that we would come all the way back down, all right? Because we had built a huge amount of liquidity in here, all right? So really, we are in a range, all right? So a little expansion above range, expansion below range, above, below, and closing in range. So this is why my system told me today we are not in an ideal place, we are not in ideal circumstances, we do not have enough range to validate me putting risk on, which is why I didn't. If you found today frustrating, just remember you don't need to trade every day. Wait until the multi-time frames align. Let everyone else pay for the information, let them become the liquidity, and when everything is aligned, take advantage of them, take that continuation. Until next time, use stops, trade safe.